Hi everyone, welcome on board to Helper.tv.
Atiku Abubakar is one of the opponents of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the just concluded 2023 presidential elections that brought Bola Ahmed Tinubu in, announced as the winner of the election. Well, as it is right now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has blocked Atiku from accessing his academic records in Chicago University, where he claimed he attended. Now, Atiku pressed further. Why? Because of the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to the electoral body of Nigeria, INEC. According to Atiku, he said that the document certificate presented by Bola Ahmed Tinubu is different from the fonts and type that the University, Chicago, would have issued Bola Ahmed Tinubu at that time. Upon this observation, Atiku had to request from Chicago University to release the certificate presented to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, according to what we heard, they said that Chicago University obliged the request of Atiku. Now, I do not know if that is legal, if you can just request for people's private documents. You know, we have data protection and it differs from one country to the other. But according to the Nigerian Constitution, anybody who presents a forged certificate will be disqualified. And this is the reason why Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of Nigeria, is pressing right at the tribunal. And based on all of this, Atiku wants the tribunal to disqualify Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, every individual have their own right. Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented at the court his own opposition of the claim brought in by Atiku and his legal team. He said that this is illegal. Nobody should and can have access to my personal record. He said this is a breach of privacy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu cited a 1970 law of privacy for American students. Well, let us be very sincere. INEC as an electoral body, or let us say there is another electoral, let's say a branch of the electoral body created to investigate certificates or whatever document that is presented. I believe they have all of this. They should have a committee that should have checked to find out. But then integrity is what will be lacking. Now, the stories that we heard from Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that there was a fire and he lost his certificate. And one will wonder why Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot return back to the same university that he attended and another certificate or whatever it is will be presented back to him. Does he have this certificate and wants to kind of keep this suspense, or is there more to what the eyes can see? Now, a lot of people might think Bola Ahmed Tinubu is just stepping into all of these problems, or these problems are being thrown at him now because they are trying to deprive him from becoming president or remaining the president of Nigeria. No, it all started back in those days. You know, Nigeria was just moving off or away from military rule into the so-called democracy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's certificates and all what you feel, there were a lot of discrepancies according to the report back then. In fact, the secondary school that Bola Ahmed Tinubu claimed that he attended in Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria, there was a lot of issues attached to that. Now, the school that Bola Ahmed Tinubu claimed that he attended back then in Ibadan, they had this get-together of old boys. You know, oftentimes schools, we have old boys association or old girls association. Students of those years said, look, we do not know Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe they know him probably as Shongolere, which many of you might not be aware of. That is his real surname until he was adopted and given that name Tinubu. Maybe that is what they meant. I do not know. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot say that the surname that he claimed now, or is claiming, or has claimed, is the real surname that he was born with. But does that really matter? Anyone can claim whatever surname they want to claim because of probably adoption or for whatever reason it is. You can claim whatever surname as long as it is documented and there are legal backings to it. But did Bola Ahmed Tinubu attend that secondary school that he claimed he attended? And another question is this: does Bola Ahmed Tinubu look like someone who is not educated? That's it. Did he learn all of this from the street? Probably he must have gone through school, or was he home tutored? How is it that Bola Ahmed Tinubu can read and write? How come Bola Ahmed Tinubu understands politics this way? How come Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to occupy certain positions? Of course, we know that the past president of Nigeria, I'm talking of Major General Buhari, he is not that sound, mentally, education, IQ, and all of that. But he ended up becoming president of Nigeria. But we know his background, military. But what about Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Does Bola Ahmed Tinubu appear to be a man who did not go to school? Well, I think he went to school. But the documents, certificates, probably are not written Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And since Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to continue, he wants to keep up with this, I am Bola, I am Tinubu. This is where he started having problems. Now, let me go a bit further, although I did a story back then about this. And I'm going to leave it at the end of this video for you to see deeper into Bola Ahmed Tinubu's life when he was young and how all of this became what it is today. According to the story, Tinubu's father, not his real father, adopted, he is an adopted son to this man. They said he had a daughter, and this daughter is called Bola Tinubu. Well, they said for Tinubu to achieve and to help the family continue in the so-called business that they do, they said the family is involved in some trafficking of this and that. I'm not too sure of that. They said that the daughter of this man attended Chicago, and all of a sudden they looked at it and said, you know what? Back in those days, things are not that digital as we have it today. They said, why don't you take on the identity of our daughter? Yes, and this is what they said Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. Now, Dino Melaye went further to present certain evidence according to him. We don't know if these evidences are true. He wrote this, he tweeted about this. He wrote, the daughter of Kafaru Tinubu, the elder brother of Abibatu Mogaji, Emilokon's adopted mother. The young lady died and Bola was smuggled and began impersonating her. This is a result. And this result, as you can see, shows sex as female. Well, what happened in those years till date is still a mystery. Well, as it is, I am very sure that there are people out there, obviously people of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's age, people who are younger than him, who know him back in those days in school, but who amongst them will come out to speak? That is the trouble here. Who amongst them will come out to speak? I don't think any of them will want to risk coming out to speak, particularly now that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. It is just not worth it. Probably settled them financially, majority that you could connect to and say, look guys, take this and shut your mouth. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just that kind of gentleman. He might appear gentle, but from the records and from what we heard, he's a man who knows how to offer silver or the land. And what does that imply? Silver means money. Land means death. Now, there are those who are saying, well, there is no other way out for Bola Ahmed Tinubu with majority, holding on to either Atiku or Peter Obi. Majority. And when I say majority, I mean majority from the camp that believes in these two individuals or believe in their party. Many of them are saying there is no hope for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They said with this evidence, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will eventually be kicked out. We are waiting. Our fingers are crossed. I do not know what will become of the tribunal. Will the tribunal finally conclude? Look at the evidences that have been presented to it, or they will just close their eyes and, eyes are on them anyway. So even if they close their eyes, I think the people will help them to see. Like and share this video, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next update.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.